This is a demonstration using Seisinfo to manage seismic data migrated to the AWS cloud. The Alaska North Slope 2D seismic lines on the map are public data downloaded from the USGS website. Along with the geographical survey is a considerable number of related files, documents, images, and SegWi files. Geographical survey data was bulk loaded to the Seisinfo database. Data files were associated to the appropriate 2D lines in the database and uploaded to a bucket on the AWS cloud. For this example, I created a selection of 2D lines that were shot in 1981, shown in green. I will zoom in on this selection of lines to choose one. Info on that. So once we're refreshed, now clicking on one of these 2D lines brings forward the data display form. And on the data display form, the cloud files are indexed under the Items tab. There they are. These files are immediately available to view or download. Clicking on the file name and then on the action button provides a menu to view or download the file. So when I click view, this is very important. This security step keeps your cloud data secure. It requires that you enter a multi-factor authentication code from your personal mobile device that is linked to your AWS cloud account. Enter the code from your mobile device and set the time period for your cloud access session. Default is 12 hours. You will not have to authenticate again for the remainder of that time period. So let me grab my code from my phone. As we proceed, you'll see that there's a progress bar at the bottom showing the file is coming down. And because I chose view, it's going to automatically display in SegWi viewer. There it is. Do that again with another file. This one's a small image. So again, you see that there's that bar comes up and there's another file. So request progress is reported at the bottom form as you saw, and multiple requests can be initiated without waiting for the previous one to complete. So if you have a very large file, you can start that, and while it's running, you can go ahead and download much smaller files if you can get them selected before they're finished, which in this case I didn't, but so there's the second file I actually selected. There's the other SegWi file that the big one, that's a demux file. So let's look at some storage cost saving options for infrequently used files. I'm going to bounce back to a previous line here, to the first line where I know that I have some files that are stored in Deep Archive and in Glacier. And these classes will save you 80 to 90% in storage costs, actually. So really worthwhile to determine which files are infrequently used and move them to those storage classes. So if I choose a Deep Archive file, here's the catch. You need to restore these files to standard before you can view them. And of course, that takes some time and will incur a small charge. As you can see, you can temporarily restore this for as many days as you wish, and you can choose how long it's going to take to retrieve those files, and the shorter time, of course, costs a slight increase in charge. So if we go to a Glacier file, it's not frozen quite as deep. So when we restore one of these, again, you can set the days of retention, and then you can choose restore times like 3 to 5 hours, 5 to 12, and even expedited, get it back within minutes if you wish. There is one more type of storage, and it's called intelligent tiering. This is a storage class that automatically monitors file access and moves files to the appropriate storage cost tier based on your file access. These files always are accessible. There's no restore required, so like I said, they're being monitored, and if you're not using them, it will move them to a lower cost tier for you. So it might be worthwhile in the long run. But again, Deep Archive and Glacier, these are for, we recommend these for the infrequently used files because of their restore times, and the charges are quite slight, but anyway, there are charges to get them back. To see the full pricing for storage classes and transactions, you can go to the AWS website. It's at aws.amazon.com/s3/pricing.